So, hi everybody. My name is Denise Morales, and I'm your host for In My Feels But I Heal podcast. And I'm excited to bring to you this programming today on Father's Day weekend. I'm here with my middle brother, and I'll let him introduce himself.
Name is Hector Morales, father. We got a grandfather and children in the way. Oh no, not in the way. We got
I'm
we
like,
got
who's
children.
having a
No, we
baby?
have children. No baby in the way. You know what? It's nice to be here. Nice to talk about what we're going through as guys, especially on Father's Day. Father's Day weekend is a good topic because there's a lot of guys that we don't talk about our issues and we just blow it off. We brush it off. That's what we guys do. And I hope our message today goes on and it could relate to many other fathers out there. And you're not alone out there. We're all together here.
Yes.
So Denise, let's get to the
Thanks,
topics.
thanks.
Come on.
And definitely, this is our opinion. No clinical professional counseling here today. This is all based on our opinion and our experiences and the things we've gone through. And we're specifically taking a focus on Father's Day this weekend. And my brother feels really compelled to kind of speak to us today. So tell us, where did your fatherhood journey start?
You know what? My fatherhood journey started, give or take back in 2006, 5. That's whenever I first started working. There was a possibility that my partner was pregnant or, she was late on her schedule. And,
So we had
as
like a
guys,
pregnancy scare around that time.
yes, exactly. And well, I can only relate to my situation. We got to man up.
Yeah, yeah. So what
Yeah.
does pregnancy scare on the guy side look like? 'Cause for girls, we're like, we don't want to tell people, we're scared, but how is that for a guy to have like a pregnancy scare?
Honestly, us guys, well, I can only relate to my situation. It's like, how am I gonna support this kid? How are we gonna support the living, diapers, formula? Yes, even though there is Medicaid, there is help assistance out there, but even though you cannot live on that. You have to be a man. You have to be a partnership. You have to live on. You have to grow together. And from that point, I took the next step as what our childhood, what we seen as our father,
Okay,
as
okay.
our family. It's like grow up.
Yeah.
Hey,
So you say something interesting. You say you have to. And so
yes.
where have these pressures came about where you feel like you have to man up, we have to be a couple?
You know what? Seeing our family, how we all grew up, we're all together. We're all together. And there was no being punks about it. There's no, hey, I'm just gonna leave her. No, you gotta be a man.
You have
It
to
takes,
step up to
yeah,
the world. Like
exactly.
you created this, now
Yes,
you got to deal with
it
it.
definitely. It takes two to tango. It takes two to tango, and it is what it is. And myself, I was 15, 16 years old. I started working, and it taught me a lot of values. It taught me to where I'm at right now because of the direction I was going to, the people that I was hanging around with. I don't talk about them. It's childhood.
Yeah, like we're
we
all rebellious. We
yes,
all go through our
exactly.
things.
Yes,
Maybe not the
exactly.
best decisions.
But it was fun. I lived my life as my teenager, and then from there, we had to go on. It's like, what's the next step?
Yeah.
Child, childhood, father step, and I got married, and then from there, is everything else is about family.
So tell us, how old were you when you got married? Because
Oh
that was a
Lord,
whole ordeal
oh
too.
Lord, oh Lord. All right, so I do remember when I got remember back in 2007, February 5th, I believe. pretty much like it's February 5th, 2007. I got married by church, and it was crazy because I didn't let mom pops know. Nobody knew on
Nobody
my side.
knew
No,
we
no,
got
yeah,
married. We didn't
no,
know.
no. We didn't knew. Well, daddy knew on my side of the family. Her mom knew and stuff like that. And then from there, the I let my folks know, and they were kind of shocked because we did it on the back end of it. It should have been more like, hey, let's be united and stuff like that. But no, I was not thinking about that. I was thinking with my heart. I was thinking about,
Me and my babe.
yeah, exactly. It was like me and her against the world. It's like which it should be. But we had good times. I could say we had good times, and we learned a lot from starting from nothing, from scratch, and that is the beautiful thing. And there is one advice that if I have to say to y'all youngsters that don't have nothing, y'all have a partner, and y'all starting, you know what? Cherish all those moments.
The moments of
You know,
nothingness.
cherish those moments of nothing, starting from scratch, eating the ramen noodles, eating eggs and beans, tortillas,
Uh-huh.
salsas, because it's beautiful. Because whenever you're in a step where we're all at comfortable,
Yeah.
you reflect back to, you know what? I don't want to go to that process again. I don't want to go through what has happened.
The process is starting back at square
Yes.
one of
Well,
nothingness.
actually, square one, but with experience, I would say.
Because you're more equipped now. You
Yes,
you know
exactly.
more than you did at
Because
that
yes,
time.
exactly. Because now you know what is going on. You know how to manage life. You know how. Let's say if you start square one right now, but you already had lived it, you already know what to do
What to
to.
expect,
Yes,
yeah, how to
exactly.
navigate.
So you're not really starting from square one. You started with experience. Let's say like that.
Yeah.
But no, it's kind of crazy for my young guys out there. Stay strong, y'all guys and females. You know what? If y'all have true love, stay with each other. And just one one thing that I have to say. Keep your communication. I do have to say that. Work hard. Keep your communication. And that if there's no communication in a relationship,
Yeah.
it's really hard to progress.
So tell me, because it is Father's Day weekend, and so what comes as fatherhood is having children. So how does communication and parenting come into that for you?
You know what? Being as a separate father, going through my situation, whatever I'm going through, it's pretty hard because we're not all perfect. And to tell you the truth, it was beautiful moments. There was more beautiful moments than bad moments. I love being around my children. Mom would would take them to school. I'll go pick them up from school. Whenever I couldn't go pick them up from school, mother would go pick them up. Um, but vice versa, we'll go ahead and make sure the kiddos were okay. That's priority one. Babysitter, grandmas, aunties, uncles. It doesn't matter.
The
Even
communal effort.
yes, and they were even with me at job sites, and it's being Hispanic, we have to make it work. Now, I'm not saying otherwise on other gender or other
But like under our
ethnicity.
cultural
Yes,
values, like we're
yes,
expected to,
exactly.
like, no matter
Yes,
where you are, the kids are with you.
yes, no. So give or take 75 to top 90%, they were always with me. At the end of the school days, it's really hard because you got a job to manage. You got priorities. You got bills. You got food. You got chores. You know, it's life. It's life that everybody goes through, and it's not really easy. It's not easy, and if you don't have somebody help you out, it's really hard to try to do your own self. But you know what? A father or a mother will stick it out to whatever needs to be done, and they'll make it work
Yeah.
no matter what.
So,
And
so you kind of mentioned like this being some more difficult times of like having to stick it out. What has been one of the most challenging moments for you as a father?
you know what? As a father myself, the most challenging thing that I would have to say is working around the clock, because life goes on. Time is very precious. And us, how we grew up, our parents were always working. Our parents were always working. And we never had that father motherly bond. Even though motherly was always at the house, father was always working, but it was unbalanced. It was unbalanced.
But why do you say unbalanced?
Okay, unbalanced. This is how I say it. Unbalanced. We wanted attention from our father, the one that was never there. But he always provided, though. Even though he was not there, his presence was there, because his absence meant his presence was there.
Yeah, like
which
you
is-
still had your food, you still have the things you wanted, but
Yes.
he wasn't physically there.
Yes,
But
exactly.
everything around you told you that like he made this
Yes,
happen.
exactly. Even though our mother, in our culture, our mother was always there, you know, and we strive for attention. We strive for attention.
We're bad kids.
Yeah. We're not that bad kids, but you know,
I don't think
we
he's
had our fair share.
remembering.
We had our fair share. You know, we had our
No,
fair
we had
share.
a childhood.
Yeah, you know, we had a badass
we
childhood.
had a
We had a
childhood for
badass
sure.
childhood. And you know what? I don't take nothing bad about our childhood. I loved it. I enjoyed it. You know, it taught us to where we're at right now.
A
at
lot of
this
character,
moment.
a lot of
Oh
identity.
man, it's crazy. It's crazy. But getting back to the topic, you know, yes, we do wish our father was there for us. You know, being as a father, talking about my father, I wish our father was there, you know, but he had to provide, because
Yeah.
back then in the day, life was not easy. Life was
Absolutely
not easy, you know. Being first generation Mexican in America, and had to work, had to provide, had to make it out on his own self. It's not easy. And I look up to the old guy. Literally, I look up to the old guy. So this is where my work ethics goes on. And he still beats me, even though
He's a
still
workaholic.
like,
Yeah, he's a workaholic. He
Even
don't
though he's
stop.
like 40 years old, like he's cutting the grass at 7 o'clock in the morning. I'm like, oh Lord, he's
I know.
cutting the grass.
I hear him cutting the grass at 7 o'clock in the morning, y'all. I'm like, I can't even sleep in on a Saturday.
No, not even on
Not
Sunday.
even on
I'm
Sunday.
like,
Yeah, he
I'm
did
like,
it this morning
yes.
too. So you kind of mentioned like the absence of dad and him not being here and like wanting him to be here because we wanted that attention. I feel like dad has been vocal now in his older stage about, you know, I wish I would have spent more time with y'all. How does it feel hearing it now that you're an adult, now that you're a father, him saying, I wish I would have had more time seeing y'all grow up?
You know what? As an aspect, as a child, that I have talked to him about many occasions about the same situation, I do applaud him. I do congratulate him. I do appraise him, the effort that he put in and what he has done for our family, because it's not easy. It's not really easy, but I have learned from him in many ways, as being absent but still being provided, as I broke the chain, as still providing and still being there for my children.
Still being active.
Yes, that's
whenever
the.
you
You know what? I broke the
finish training.
chain, and it's hard for us guys to break chain generations because that's what we like to see. That's what we see all the time. Yes,
Normalize it so it's comfortable, so you
yes,
keep reproducing it.
yes. But no, that's not the thing. Us guys, our new guys. You know what? Keep that love in the family. No, like have that love for children. Tell them, hang around with them, being around them. It changes you, and it has changed me a lot. Where I see myself as different from pops to myself. Same work ethic. We still strive on to keep whatever needs to be happen. But you know what? I see myself as, you know what? I don't want to lead the same path as my father, as our father, because I want to enjoy the time with my kiddos. You know what? I enjoyed the time with my kiddos whenever they were young, Yes, whenever they were born, it was crazy because I thought the same mentality. You know what? I got to work. I need to work. I need to work. I need to strive for them.
So you grew up like starting off with
Yes,
the same
yes.
understanding of what
Same
you
method.
experience of
Yes.
fatherhood.
Same method.
So when did that change?
You know what? It changed whenever they started going to school. Give or take, they started preschool 3 years old. Oh my God. It was crazy because I was helping out my dad's father business. Oh, my dad's business, which is still up and running. And I had to work around the schedule of work, performing, being a father, making sure they were there, and still being a husband all at the same time, which was crazy. And a relationship like that or a lifestyle like that, you got to have a good partnership.
Yeah. And you're talking about all the roles that you held. You said
No,
worker, father, son, like
No,
everything. You had multiple roles.
No, it's very crazy. I'm like, I could only speak a handful of us guys that could only do so many things, and half of us that could only do half those things. But you know what? Excuses are excuses. Priorities, responsibilities are responsibilities, and you need to keep on going because it's not your life no more. It's the youngling's life. Like what are you showing your kiddos?
So it wasn't for you anymore. It
No.
was everything you were doing at that point is for my kids, for the
Yes,
kids.
it's for the kiddos. It was for the family. It was for the family. That's what it is, and I loved it. I enjoyed it. I enjoyed the life and their younglings to their teenage lives. Whatever circumstances that I'm going through right now, it's very hard. It's very hard. And that's gonna be another topic that we gotta get into. But right now, we're talking about being a father, like enjoying the moments. And I do appraise those guys, praise those fathers that have been there, that are being there. They're striving to be there. They're putting an effort to be there around the children because it's not easy. It's not very easy because now it's either that you're a partnership or you're not a partnership, but you still got responsibilities to
Yeah.
do.
Like whether you're here or not, whether you're
Yes.
showing up for me or the family, not like I still have to do my
Yes.
half, like your end of the fatherhood.
Yes, no, it's very crazy. I wish that I could say, you know what, I could just take off and not worry about things, but that's not our mentality. That's not the way how we grew up. We grew up as a structure. You know what? This is the script. This is what you got to do.
And we're just problem solving people. So any type of challenge, problem, it's like it always feels like it's automatically assigned to us to fix it, find a solution for it.
You know what? Yes, it is. And you being the youngest one, you know what? Everything gets handed down to you. It's like us guys.
I didn't ask for it. I didn't want it.
Yeah, exactly. Us guys, the young ones, like, you know what? just pass it
It's
down. Like,
it's for her to worry about, and I wonder why that's easier to say and do, and it might be because like all my brothers got married off, and I was the last one, and still not married, and still don't have the children. So maybe it's also easier to be like, oh well, like she's still at home with mom and dad. She can focus on some of these things.
but you know what? Yes and no. As I see it different, you see what we went through, and I think so. You just like picking. It's like, do I want it? Do I not want it? Or not just that. It's like I have to do my own things just to make sure my offsprings are better off than what I have seen from my siblings struggle.
Right.
And I don't want to go through that. I want to be already better off and not be, we're all going to have struggles.
Yeah.
We're all going to have struggles, but you don't want to be like how we grew up.
Right,
Like brown and rice, brown rice, beans, eggs, it's hard. I'm going to tell you, it's really hard.
And it takes a lot of discipline because you could be like, I could put this on a credit card, I could do this. Like,
Oh my
it takes so
gosh.
much discipline to get out of the negatives. And when
Yes.
you're a father, it's like, I don't want to be living paycheck to paycheck.
No, you do not want. You do not want. As least that you use the credit card, that's the best thing. Work around whatever you're making and strive for the better. Just like how our parents taught us, I know it's Father's Day weekend, and I want to say Happy Father's Day for those that are there for
Happy
the
Father's Day.
kiddos, for our grandparents, for, what, not the deadbeat dads, let's leave them alone because, what, if you
We
ain't
still
there
got some
for
learning to do. We still got some growing to do in that aspect.
Yes. If you ain't there for your kiddos, if you ain't paying your child support, or you're not helping out the mother of your children that you have helped produce, you know what? That's another topic. Good luck for you. The world is going to come take care of you. But in that, we're another percenters. We do care about our kiddos. We do care about their living, their state. We got responsibilities. And I do want to say Happy Father's Day or Happy Early Father's Day because today's Saturday, tomorrow's Happy Father's Day.
But when we're airing, it will definitely pass. But still, we'll celebrate
Exactly.
you.
We're going to celebrate all of y'all. Y'all mothers, y'all have Mother's Day. You know what? It ain't.
You have your own dedicated day.
Y'all had your own day. Tomorrow,
The people
is
that
Father's
try to
Day.
take Father's Day be
Yeah,
like, well, mommy
no.
and daddy. Like,
You know
sorry
what?
you had to go through that.
Yes, I do agree. I do agree that mothers have to be fathers as well. It's very hard. It's very hard. I'm not being biased. None at all. It's very hard to be a single parent. I do understand that. Because whenever it was a true partnership, you had help from your partner. But due to circumstances, now you're alone. Now you have to make it or have to do whatever as a partnership had to do. Now it's only one
On
single
you.
person.
And that's
Yes,
true
it's
because
only
you had somebody to rely on to be sharing responsibilities. You kind of said like I would drop them off to school, she can pick up, or vice versa. But when that other half is no longer there and it's just you, it's like now I got to figure it out, or I have to get family to now fill in this spot. But how does that feel for you too? Going from a place where you used to rely on somebody for these things and having to figure it out on your own.
Okay, so let's say good people do not leave for a reason. They leave for a good reason. They're, let's say, a good person is just not going to say, you know what, this is not working out for me, I'm out. No. People are going to work out. People work their things out, work their aspect, work their situation, their problems.
Like people that want to work through it,
Yes,
they're going to
exactly.
work through it because
Yes.
they're thinking about the collective.
Yes. But whenever it's just enough, it's enough. You cannot take it. You know what? There's some people that put high value on somebody. You know what? I'm not gonna make it seem like I'm being played around with. I'm not gonna be the clown of this relationship. You know what? Even though you're a good person, we gotta explore our options, because if you're not happy in a relationship, you got, you know, I'm sorry to tell you, but reality kicks in. You gotta leave,
Yeah.
because it's more mental into this state than trying to work something that it ain't working out.
Yeah, it's
Now,
exhausting mentally, physically.
yes, it is. And something that, let's say, something that's been going on for so long. Us guys, we're pretty simple to work with.
They say they're simple. No, I'm
Oh
just
no,
playing.
we're pretty simple. Let me tell you, we're pretty simple. You know, we got chores, we got jobs, we got to pay the bills. Uh, we like to have our downtime. It's our gaming system, guys. Come on, it's our gaming system. Come on,
Gaming, hobbies,
yes,
fishing. You know your hobby.
yes, exactly. But that's our downtime. But I'm only talking to those percenters that they do mostly everything, though. I'm not talking about all the guys, though. I'm only talking about my aspect. You know?
Like people that relate to you and your experience and how you
Yes, exactly. You
things.
know, we put out pick up kiddos. We make sure kiddos get picked up, even though sometimes it's late. You know, us, our culture, we show up to parties late
The party
because
started
the
at
party
5.
is not even.
We showed up at
Yeah,
7:30.
exactly. And like, even though they tell us at 4 o'clock is 4
You mean
o'clock,
8?
I'm like, we're putting up tables and chairs. Come on.
And then the joke is like, "Oh, vas a venir a barrer?" Like you're showing up ready to clean. I'm
No,
like,
exactly.
no.
No, none at all. But you know what? I really love fatherhood. My kiddos, they're teenagers right now, 14, 13. And the years go by so really quick. You blink, it's another year. You blink, it's another year. And one thing I do remember as being a child, all those field trips, our parents were never there.
Our parents were never there.
And they were never there.
Or sports presentations, they were never there.
No, you know.
You were the first one that came to
Yes.
one of my games, and I hit somebody in the face with a volleyball.
Oh, yeah, exactly. Yes, exactly.
But that was
yes.
the first time I felt
did-
like I had
yes.
somebody finally show up for me, and it was a sibling.
Hog Middle School. Yeah, Hog Middle
Not
School.
him calling.
Yes.
Sorry,
So,
Sonia.
all right, so call her out. Like,
I'm sorry. Forgive
hold
me.
on, what's her hashtag?
Just like have a hashtag. We're not giving this a hashtag.
So, you know, in the point of aspect where I broke chains, I wanted to be there for my family, for my siblings, and it's really crazy as you gotta love it. If you don't love it, it's not for you. But you know what? We had love, but different kind of love. We had tough love.
Yeah, and well, you
had
also have
time.
to think about like the generation of parents that were raising us. They were raising us off survivalship. Like they were trying to feed us. They were trying to clothe us. They were trying to keep a roof over our heads. So love for them, and I feel like it's still kind of like that now. Like mom shows love through cooking, or like monetarily now that she has it, or like dad, his is different. I feel like his has become very more lovable.
Yes.
It's and so that kind of shows us that like the love of a father can transcend over time and it can evolve over time. Like, would you say you're the same father you were when the kids were born to when they were in school age to they were teens? Like, how have you evolved as a father over time?
Okay. So we were all young. We used to get in trouble in school. You know, we understand. We grow up. We cannot be the innocent child. We cannot, you have friends. Those friends, there could be some influence, or you could be the influence to those friends. Vice versa. You know, I'm not just saying let's put everything on the friends. No.
Sometimes it's you.
Yeah.
Sometimes it's you. Sometimes it is
it's
your fault.
Yes, sometimes it's your fault. But seeing at it, growing up with it, in my POV, I grew my wildness in middle school. Where in high school, I had to grow up.
You mellowed
Yes,
out
yes,
by the end of high
yes.
school.
No, middle school. Beginning of high school, I mellow out, because I already had a girlfriend, I was thinking more straight. I was not thinking about college, because
I don't think
no,
anybody was
no,
thinking about
no,
college in your age range at that
no.
time era, which was like '06 graduation.
Uh, '07 was my graduation. '05 was Jonathan.
Okay,
Yes.
okay. Shout out to Reagan alumni.
Yes. '07, baby, Reagan High School. But going through it, having a relationship, going through a partnership, going back to the first roots, we didn't have, well, in my age, different generations,
Right, 7 years apart.
we're many years apart. I had to work. I had to work. And it was not easy,
You had to
because
work. I wanted to
yes,
work.
no, I
Two
had
different
yes,
things. Yeah,
yes.
you had to.
I had to work because whenever our parents were working, I had to work. I had to work to maintain my style. I had to work. I had to work to live on because
You liked your things too.
yes,
That's also the
yes,
thing. You
yes,
liked having
exactly.
your things,
Yes.
and you didn't like begging for them.
No,
It's like you
none,
had it because you worked for it.
yes, exactly. I didn't like to be told, "Oh, you cannot use the phone because of this." No, I work for my things. Let me do my thing. I like to dress a different style. I like to go out. I
Back then
like
it
to
was starch
eat.
dickies
Oh, you
and
know what?
Cortezes.
Yes, Cortezes,
And fish hairnets.
Dickies, and you know what? Cholo style back in the day. It was a blood in, blood out style. Sangre por sangre. But, it's different phases that we go through and we live on and we learn. And now is teaching our young ones as what our parents taught us.
Yeah.
You know what? It's responsibilities. It is matureness. It is, you got to do the right thing. There's no wrong thing. Let's not cut a corner here. No, everything's the right thing. Let's go ahead and, don't mess up. If you mess up, that's fine. As long as you say it, let's go ahead and get it fixed right there and then so you won't have an issue back.
And I like
in the
that you're
future.
saying like you gotta acknowledge that you
Yes.
went wrong in something and then do an action after it to correct your wrongs.
Yes, you gotta talk about it. You gotta talk about it. I'll talk about a lot about my issues as a being a father. I do take a lot of heat. I do talk a lot about my errors, which I like talking about it because it gets me to know where I did wrong, where I see my parents as I don't want to follow the same footsteps neither though. I see their footsteps, I see my footsteps, and we gotta, like combine them together and like let's not lead that same step.
Yeah.
But you know what?
They provide the foundation, but you provide the walls, the building blocks,
Yes,
everything
the structure,
else. The structure.
They built the foundation, but you built the structure. You build whatever comes next. And then from whatever comes next, you got to keep on going. And it's not really easy because life is not easy. Let's say you could be having a great job, stuff like that. No issues, no credit card, boom, health issues come. You thought you were straight. Health issues, you're done. You're done.
Yeah.
And being a father is most likely you cannot expect the worst or the best out of it because you never know.
Never was gonna happen.
You never know.
And you
what's
never
gonna
knew
happen.
what your kids
No.
were gonna be like.
No.
And your kids are very characteristically distinct.
Oh my God, they're crazy.
So can you
They're
give us a
crazy.
little
They're
insight
crazy.
of how it is to father your boy versus it is to father your girl?
Okay, so I'm gonna start with the same resemblance or the same character that I have. Baby girl. Shout out to my baby girl, Angelina Morales. Uh, she's just like me. Same character, same, you know what?
Humor, brush off
Oh, we,
character.
you
She's
know
very
what?
strong. She's gonna be a leader.
W-
That is baby girl.
We're gonna talk our mess, but whenever
So
it
down to earth.
yeah, it's just to
Tough, and
us, you
she's
know.
tough love
Yeah.
too.
Oh no, you know what? Tough love. Just like how you said it. Being a woman, being a woman, is not being easy. I
Being
I
a woman
learned.
in this family ain't
No,
easy.
it's not easy. We have, or I have to show my baby girl the tough love. No, tough love. Let me describe tough love. Tough love is more likely, I'm gonna show you love, but you're gonna. This is what's gonna happen.
It's not gonna
This,
be
yeah,
babied.
yeah,
You're
exactly.
gonna give it the facts, the
Yeah,
reality,
exactly. I'm gonna, you
and
know
then we're gonna hug
what?
it out.
I'm gonna show you the bare minimum. I'm still gonna be there for you because we don't want you to be taking advantage of in the future.
So do you feel like you're building her for a future
You know
self?
what? Yes. That's how I felt. That's how wanted to feel. That's how I matured her. Now, she has different personality because, people grow. People grow. So I see her. She don't take no mess with no one, She did wrong. She did wrong. She did right. No, you ain't gonna blame me for it because you know what? She ain't hiding nothing, and that's the beauty of her because she's not hiding nothing. She's gonna show you what she got. You know what? Let's say if she's playing poker and she's gonna lay down all her cards and she's gonna win because she's not wrong. She's not wrong. Now the difference about baby girl, baby boy, how we taught each other. Baby boy had some complications. There's more love with baby boy, so you cannot.
And health complications,
yes,
right?
health
Yes.
complications. So there was no like, oh, I'm do tough love with him. No, like he had health complications. He was
So
the
you felt more sentimental, just
yes
when it came to caring for him.
first like sentimental, like not feeling wrong for him, but as well trying to make sure that he was okay. And by being okay, now he was not the firstborn. We had a miscarriage, um, but our first child, living child, it was very different though, because being first time father, as what we grew up, you want to show them different. You want to show them different from whatever you have learned, or from what you have seen, or from what you have experienced.
Yeah, and for baby boy to be the first and you be a boy and then having to father
Oh
a
my god!
boy,
Oh my
it's
god!
like, all right, well, here's
Yes,
your test. Like, here
exactly.
it is.
And nowadays, there's chores that need to be done. There's things that need to be done. Make sure that you take care of your mother and your sister because he's the big boy now. He's the big boy. And talking about my children on Father's Day, it's really crazy, because I never expected to be in the podcast, especially on the Father's Day weekend.
I asked him yesterday.
Oh my God, it's really crazy. Us guys that really love their children, being there for them. You do everything that you can do for them, but there's a limit to them because as well how we're growing up, you cannot be handed down everything
There's some things
because
they need to learn on their
yes,
own.
you have to learn on your own. You have to fall to learn because if you never fall, you're never gonna learn. But as well, whenever you fall, you got to pick your own self up, and that was an experience that I learned. I'm not a guy that likes to call on to my folks, hey, I need this. Even though they may have some resources, but I do not look at that. I learned from our father as, you know what? life is tough. You got to go ahead and make it how it is. You got to make the best out of it. It is. And you just got to work one solution at a time, one problem at a time. One problem at a time, there's a solution out of that
Because there's
problem.
always going to be a problem.
Yeah, always in life, there's always this. Even though everything could be going out smooth, boom, problem. And but truly, being a father has changed me though. I wish I could see them more. I wish I could be them with them more. But it is what it is.
Yeah.
I cannot express any more than what it is.
And I know you love that dynamic of the house home feel, knowing that your children are there, like the accessibility to the children and things of that sort.
Homebody.
And to be honest, I'm really proud of the dad that you are, seeing you grow up and being the active father of like, let's go playing, let's go go-karting, let's have a movie night, let's go eat. Like, you were very active. And me, I feel like I grew up with the kids too. So I got to see the way you were raising them and me tagging along. And like, we were all being raised together. And I feel like it was really beautiful. So I got fathered too by my siblings as well.
You know, as what you're saying, that you were there whenever the baby boy was young, right whenever he took his first steps, even before his steps, he was crawling. You were always there. Yeah, give or take, you're like, oh, let's say the nanny, but you're not the nanny. You're the auntie.
It was the auntie.
But you know, the nanny is always there. But no, you're the auntie. The auntie was always there. You have seen so many steps that my children have taken, and I consider you as, I mean, yes, you're my sister, you're my sibling, but you're close. You know, you're inside my circle because you're always there. Not just for me, you were there for the kiddos. And since the first birthday to
any birthday that I could be
yes,
participating in.
That could be, or that was participated in, you're always there. You know, hands down to you. You're a badass little sister.
Thank you.
And later on, the children will see that you're a good auntie. You didn't have no fault into whatever had happened, and you know, we just miss them a lot.
So how is it for you as a father to have people that your children can have to count on? Because, right, as parents, and I'm not a parent yet, but I get to see that parents usually have trusted people that sometimes the kids don't want to disclose things to you, but they have someone close by that they can open up to and feel safe with and things of that sort. So how is that for you, that the children have someone to talk to?
Okay, so whenever I was a young one, just like my kiddos, I had my uncles where we could go out, BS, you know, get out of normally, you know, like normal life. It was going out to Six Flag Astro. Like y'all
R.I.P.
generation, like y'all generation, y'all don't know
not
that.
Travis Scott,
My generation, no, not Travis Scott. My generation, we know Astro World, Six Flags. You know, that was our go-to guy, Magic Johnson Theater back in Northline Mall. I mean, I'm talking about before y'all. And
Talking about the 9-9.
yeah. Speedy's racetrack, which is still there, down 249. But it was beautiful as seeing that how we grew up and how the kiddos grew up, though. We all have someone to rely with, someone to talk to, someone to escape with. Now, I know you have a relationship with my kiddos, but I know they tell you different things that they tell me. They see you a different way that they see me. They see me as a father. They see you as a auntie.
Cool auntie.
Yes, cool auntie. I mean, you never been strict. You never, you know, you guide, knowing you will guide them the right way. I know you will not steer them the wrong way. You, just like how you talk to me, I know that my kiddos are in good hands
Yeah.
because
If this is
you're
what you're pouring into me, I know what you could be
yes,
pouring into
exactly.
my kids.
Yes, exactly. And I'm pretty blessed to have a sister for my kiddos to have an auntie just like you.
Thank you. Thank
And
you.
it all comes down to family.
Yeah.
It all comes down to family. It's back to how our parents taught us, being there for one each other. But
Yeah. And sometimes it's hard to get to that point of like releasing some of the things that we've been holding on to or dealing behind closed doors because it's like, well, now I have no choice because you're seeing the outward consequences. You're seeing me move out. You're seeing me get separated. You're seeing things unfold. So it's like now I really have to like open up and rely on my family. And that's really hard for you, especially if you've been keeping it in house for a long
yes,
time.
it's very hard. It's very hard. And in some point, I do rely into my family, into my siblings, to have that relationship with my children because that's a gateway for them to talk to someone else. Not just talk to the mother, not just talk to the father, but to talk to their uncles, to their aunt, to the grandparents. It doesn't matter with my siblings, but as well for her mom's siblings as well. It's like shout out to Luda.
Shout out Luda.
Shout out
I
Luda.
love Luda.
Like Luda, hands
Luda,
down,
shout
bro.
out best brother-in-law.
Yeah, badass brother-in-law, dude. It's like you're off the chain, dude. It's like I couldn't wish nothing more to the kiddos as a brother-in-law. Hands down,
Such a good
dude.
uncle.
It's like uncle, you taught them a role as if I was not there, you're there. You show them
Fun tough
fun.
love
Yeah,
too,
it's
like
fun.
discipline
It's
and
fun.
fun.
Yes,
Like it
it's
was,
very fun.
yeah,
Yes.
it's so good to see him too.
So now I'm talking about her siblings. Her brother Herson. He grew up a different mentality as well. Don't really want to get to the topic, but
Just different
their
lifestyles.
their father figure was different. That's how I'm just gonna lay it out. And he had to be a father at an early stage. So I wanna say Happy Father's Day to Herson. I don't know if you're gonna see this later on. You know what? If you do, Happy Father's Day, brother. Danny. Danny,
Happy Father's Day.
Happy Father's Day as well. I've seen you grow up from a young one to what you are now. You know what? I congratulate you, brother. Because I know if you put your effort into whatever you like, you're going to put it in, you're going to give it your best. That's you, bro. Happy Father's Day, bro. No hate, nothing but love. Love to all my peeps.
Yeah.
It's like I don't have nothing bad to
And
say.
there's sometimes no like things are gonna happen, disagreements are gonna happen, but it's like overall what like just men's is like just love and peace. Like
Yes.
gotta love and peace and move forward with
Yes.
my life. And so how do you take care of yourself now as a father? What are things that because you mentioned like it's challenging, it is hard, you go through things. So how do you take care of you as a father?
Okay. As a mental state, as a mental state, you know what? I have work in the morning, paperwork. I got to supervise guys. And then from there, I have that 3-4 hours of leeway after work before I start eating dinner or go to sleep. How I'll go ahead and separate myself from the world to my peaceful time. I'll go ahead and focus on my health, my physical. I'll start not meditating, but I'll start working on myself. I'm like, I'll go to the gym. I'll go ahead and start hearing motivation quotes. I'll go ahead. Yeah, sometimes we go ahead up TikToks and different other social platforms. But you know what? The best meditation or the best platform is being you, your own self, away from somebody. Know yourself, know your character, know your own, like enjoy your peaceful. because nobody is gonna give you peace
Yeah.
except your own
And
self.
you're the only one that can create it. And that's what I really commend to you, because you like to give yourself fun experiences. Doesn't matter what's going on, you humor through life, and you
Oh,
like to create you like to create
no,
your own sense of happiness.
no,
And so like he'll go fishing all day. But he's not just like going out there with a fishnet.
no,
Like he's taking his
no.
own grill, cooking for one, taking a TV. Like he is
Solo,
having so.
solo.
Tell us,
All right.
please.
So, my peaceful time. Let's say I have a lot of cousins. I got a lot of siblings. You know, I got a lot of people to go fish with. But you know what? My peaceful time. If I could go ahead and escape, which I have done many times,
He does it a lot.
I wake up. My truck is full, packed and ready to go fishing. I just get in my truck, go hit up the mid market, get my meat, go to the beach. I set up my tent, set up my grill, set up my music, and guess what? It's not to go fish. It's meditating. It's to feel my how I feel. It's how
So do you feel grounded?
yes, I do feel grounded. I feel grounded as I reflect back on what I have done the whole week, what I could go ahead and relate to do better, and how can I get more attached with the kiddos? Because
So you're kind of checking off like your past experiences, your current experiences, and the roles you fulfill. Like, am I doing what I need to do in these roles?
yes. Now, I know that we cannot count our chickens ahead because we could only control what we could only control. And in a perfect world, it's like in my world, everything will be great, but it's not like that though. It's not like that. Um, but whenever I do go out in my own time, I do reflect about life. I do reflect about childhood memories. I do reflect back of fatherhood memories, how we grew up, whenever we all used to go together, how we all used to go to Mexico and enjoy our time and all stuff. But life is life. Life
Yeah.
moves on. The world doesn't stop. You got to keep on going. You got to keep on striving. And to my guys out there that are struggling, you know what? Keep your heads up, brother. Keep your heads up. Everything will be okay. Just keep on striving. Do not give up. It will work out. It will work out. It will. There's the light at the end of the tunnel. It may take a while, but as well, it starts with one person, and that person is yourself. If you do not commit to yourself, that light at the end of the tunnel is gonna be long and stretch. You got to keep on going though.
Thank you, brother. Thank you, brother, for
No,
sharing with us today your experiences and your fatherhood journey. I know it's definitely not been easy for
it's
you,
crazy.
and I can only imagine other dads that have felt like they've had everything and had to feel like they're restarting again, and then rebuilding their structure of what it means to be a dad under new circumstances. But
No,
thank you so much for being here today. Is there anything else you would like to share with us before we close?
you know what? I do. Keep in mind your family. Keep in mind those that have helped you around. Because those that helped you around, it's not many of them. It's only a close hand.
No
It's,
handful.
it's a handful. It's a whole handful of people. Do not think your best friend that is going to be there that has not gone through the same situation, that's going through the same thing that you're going through, give you advice while he's out there and chilling. No. Um, follow the right follow the right people that are in the same situation you're going through. Get the best advice and break that chain. Break
Yeah.
that chain because if I have broken that chain with how I grew up from my father to my children, you can go ahead and break that chain. It's not a sequence. You go ahead and make life better. Yes, there's an effort that you got to do. There is more output that you got to go ahead and do. But in that is a beautiful thing. knowing that you have done everything that you could do for the loved ones that you love.
That's true. That's true.
But in that, I don't got nothing to say though.
Thank you. Thank you, brother.
You
Peace
have a good
out.
one.
Thank you for supporting. Like, share, repost. If you have any suggestions for upcoming sessions, put it down in the comments. If you would like to participate and you live in Houston, we do have a submission form for you to be a guest on the platform. As always, with much love in my Feels But I Heal podcast. And this is your host, Denise Morales. Thank you.